Hello everyone, I'm your host Quinnlenn, but you can just call me Quinn. Welcome back to ScytedTV News, your news place for all your internet, gaming, and anime news. We've got a lot in store for today's episode. We've got Lidia Tekken 8 drop, Comicon fun, and Attack on Titan editor gets jailed, as well as Quinn picks. More on that later. All this and more on this episode of ScytedTV News. As of August 5th to the 18th, ScytedTV News and all other ScytedTV shows are going to be on break, but we will be uploading shorts and other content. Also, let us know what you think about the new PNG and set in the comments. Since the launch of Tekken 8, we've had 32 base characters and a promise of 4 DLC characters within the following year. The first DLC character being Eddie Goro, a capoeira-style fighter whose main goal is to take down Kazuya Mishima, the leader of an organization who reaps havoc throughout the world. Since Eddie's debut, we've been able to see new gameplay, balance patches, new items in the Tekken store, and a couple of battle passes that have brought a range of items and collectibles to the game. The balance patches have brought some much-needed changes to the characters and gameplay overall, and it was pretty well received in the competitive community. We aren't getting balance patches with the launch of Lidia, but the patch will address some problems and bugs that the game was previously facing. With the addition of Lidia Sobieska, announced on May 26th, 2024, we later got a full release date for her arrival through Tekken Talk livestream. She was released on July 25th, 2024, and was released a few days earlier for anyone who had bought the Year's Season Pass DLC at the start of Tekken 8's release. Now that she's in the game, you can probably expect to see a lot of Lidias floating around online. Lidia is a character that displays an astounding understanding of traditional karate and uses many different stances referred to as kaitas. In the story, Lidia is the Prime Minister of Poland, with her country in danger of being destroyed by the aforementioned Kazuya Mishima. With the help of Eddie Goro and some Tekken Force soldiers who have had a change of heart, she sets out to find him and end this for once and for all. I have a feeling she's going to be a pretty popular pick, as Tekken players will wait for the announcement and release of the next DLC character coming this fall. For this year's Comic-Con, we will be covering the major events and some basic information you should know about. To start, they won't have a corresponding virtual or online event this year for the first time since 2019. Of course, fans will have to look for more ways to keep updated on the stream of announcements coming from one of the biggest annual fandom events. For our first topic, we'll be talking about Marvel. Marvel has pulled back on some of its plans for the MCU after box office disappointments, a new wave of superhero fatigue, and the sentencing and conviction of Jonathan Majors. Why was he so important to the MCU? It's because he plays Kang and was supposed to be the centerpiece of the MCU's future. Marvel has already got a primitive victory lap with Deadpool and Wolverine, which just opened up in theaters. This year's Marvel panel will also show how they plan to retool phases 5 and 6, invigorate the fanbase, and also possibly replace Kang with Doctor Doom due to the recent misconduct of the actor and Kang's character not being able to carry the whole phase of the MCU. Shortly after recording this, Kevin Feige announced that Avengers Kang Dynasty would be pivoted and renamed to Avengers Doomsday. Kang would be replaced with Doctor Doom. Also, in a surprise twist, it was revealed that Doctor Doom would be played by none other than Robert Downey Jr., who formerly played Iron Man. Unfortunately for DC fans, Warner Bros. Will have a small presence, while director James Gunn will be busy shooting takes for Superman. There will only be minor promotions of the upcoming HBO series The Penguin and My Adventures with Superman. Instead of a presentation, DC has a booth to stir up excitement over its DC comic merch. Transformer fans will be able to enjoy the trailer of Transformers 1, the humor and heartbreak between Optimus Prime and Megatron's breakup. It is described as a biblical prequel by producer Lorenzo di Bonaventura. The show itself will tell the origin on Cybertron and what caused the two warring factions, Autobots and Decepticons, to come against one another. For Lord of the Rings fans, you will be able to enjoy the Rings of Power trailer, while the Boys fans are getting a prequel series following its two biggest villains, Soldier Boy and Stormfront. It is said to be, quote, a twisted murder mystery about the origins of Vought in the 1950s, the early exploits of Soldier Boy, and the diabolical maneuvers of a soup known to the fans as Stormfront, who was then known to the fans going by the name Clara Vought, end quote, according to the Boys boss Eric Kripke and Vought Rising showrunner Paul Grelong. Our next story is something quite shocking. Park Jung-Hyun, mostly known as the editor for popular manga Attack on Titan, has just been sentenced to 11 years in prison for the murder of his wife. Jung-Hyun was initially arrested in 2017 after his wife had been found unresponsive in their home in Bukino City, Japan. When she was found, Jung-Hyun claimed that she had fallen down the stairs, but later changed his story, claiming that she had hung herself from the staircase railing. This was after an autopsy revealed that her death was caused by suffocation from pressure applied to the neck. On July 18th, 2024, Jung-Hyun was officially sentenced to 11 years in prison for the murder of his wife. Last but not least, we have this week's Quinn Picks, a segment where yours truly picks something that has happened in the last week and talks about it. You might have heard of SAG-AFTRA, a union making waves in various industries. If you haven't, here's a summary. Back in July of 2023, writers and staff protested against bad working conditions and low pay. This went on for 5 months until major studios gave in to their demands. This win inspired other companies to do the same. And now, this activism has finally hit the gaming industry. Big companies like Activision, EA, Epic Games, and Warner Brother Games, and many, many more are in the spotlight. They're pushing to use AI instead of voice actors, which has upset many in the gaming community. Union reps and workers have been asking for fair treatment and better conditions, just like the original SAG-AFTRA protests. Despite having some agreements, there are still no clear protections for performers regarding AI use. This has led to the union calling for a strike. In January, SAG-AFTRA made a deal with Replica Studios, an AI voiceover company allowing performers to consent or opt out of using their voices for AI. SAG-AFTRA, which represents over 160,000 performers, ensures fair pay and working conditions. On Thursday, they announced that union members working on video games will start going on strike on July 26th. This comes after more than a year of negotiations with major gaming companies. In September of 2023, 98% of union members voted to authorize this strike. This isn't the first time that the gaming industry has gone on strike. The last one was in 2016 and lasted 183 days because of AI. And now it's happening all over again. After hearing this, you might be asking yourself, what video games are being impacted by this strike? And the answer is quite simple. Basically, a mountain of games that are in production. Because SAG-AFTRA has called a strike for all covered services, it means that SAG-AFTRA actors will not be doing their union performance work for video games until the strike is called off. And now you're probably thinking, how can I support the striking voice actors? The best that we can do is promote the strike on social media and try to get the word out about these companies. SAG-AFTRA is requesting that creators and streamers invite performers onto streams and shows to discuss the strike, and is asking everyone to amplify SAG-AFTRA's messages about the strike using hashtag #LevelUpTheContract, hashtag GameStrike, and hashtag SAG-AFTRAStrong on social media. The union is also provided shareable graphics and other information on how to support online, and there's a link below if you want to help. With that, we are done with our last story. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Check the description below for our Patreon. We are a small company and it would help us out a lot. If you want to chat with people, feel free to join the Discord below. Both of those links are in the description below. Again, feel free to let us know in the comments what you think about the new PNG and set. Also, feel free to comment if we get something wrong and we'll fix it right out. And with that, it is the end of the video, so stay frosty.